Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Afia Sports Review Sport on Afia TV. The frequencies have not changed. They're not planning to change anytime soon. Channel 254 DSTV, Channel 748 Free TV, and Channel 17 Go TV. It's great to be here on this wonderful, clement Monday evening, Monday the 11th of May, May rather, the year of our Lord 2026. I beg your pardon, life travels very fast. Sometimes you switch to and fro, but all the same, we're in May, and that's the 11th day of the month of May, the year of our Lord 2026. Welcome to the Afia Sports Review Sport on Afia TV. We are pleased to have you here, and we are pleased to break down things that have been transpiring and which happened during the past weekend and even the week at large. It's great to be here, guys. Welcome. My name is Sisi Amechebe. I'm popularly known as Sisi the Rabbi. And I'm not doing this alone today. I have none other than the blessed Zik himself, Zikor Ngene.
Yeah.
Good to have you, Zik.
Pleasure, always. Continuation of the weekend preview show. And we are back here to, explore and dissect all the wonderful action that happened during the weekend. Welcome to all those that are at home. Let's get it cracking now.
Yeah, we'll get it cracking indeed. I'm sure one of the major reasons he's smiling is because a certain Catalonian team made him happy this weekend. Very great indeed. El Clasico is done and dusted. We'll get to that in a bit when the time comes. But first of all, we go straight to the headline news. Headline news. NPFL, this is sad news for some, but, well, indifferent for some others. But the NPFL, which is one of the most competitive leagues in world football, I can tell you that categorically. The Nigerian Premier Football League has confirmed that 2 teams have been relegated from the NPFL to the Nigerian National League, the NNL, the second tier of the football pyramid in Nigeria. And the teams in question are Wikki and Bayelsa United. The reason is that both teams have 40 points with 1 game to play, and the threshold for survival is above 46 points, should everything go in your favor. But the best that Wikki and Bayelsa United can get by match week 38, assuming they win match week 38, is 43 points. So they are condemned to NNL in the 2026-2027 season. So who will join them next week? When we get to the NPFL, we'll show you that it's a very crazy situation, because from 9th position to 16th are not safe as we speak. Then we go to what's happening, another relegation dogfight in the Spanish La Liga. And we're pleased to say that our own brother himself, alongside his brother, who is also our brother, Akor Adams, scored the winning goal for Sevilla, the Andalusian-based side, in a 2-1 home win over Espanyol at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan Stadium in Andalusia, in Spain. They did this, getting themselves to 40 points in the Spanish La Liga. What they need to do is finish strong, because they are still in a relegation dogfight. They are not safe, but with 3 games to go, they have to do what they have to do. So they beat fellow relegation strugglers, Espanyol, and now it's all down to the last 3 match days in the Spanish La Liga. And then, of course, we also want to announce that in the Serie A, one of the upcoming managers who has shown that in his first spell as a manager, he has a lot of potential to do amazing things in the world of football. Francesc Fabregas Soler, the former Arsenal, Chelsea, and Barcelona midfielder and Spain international, has guided Como FC to their first ever European journey. Now he has qualified Como FC for the UEFA Conference League. But that's not enough, because the Conference League is certain. There's no way they can drop below the Conference League position, but they still have a chance should they win the remaining games that they have, and should the teams above them drop off the boil, they can still qualify for not only the Europa League, but the Champions League as well. That is how phenomenal Cesc Fabregas' season in his managerial debut has been so far. A big congratulations to the man himself. Now we go straight to the main body of news in the NPFL. We'll start from home, of course. Charity begins at home. And the NPFL, we had some results in the Nigerian Premier Football League that showed that it's nail-biting time. Rangers International, of course, the Flying Antelopes got a vital home win. The last home win of the season, last home game of the season, Rangers ended it in style, winning Bendel Insurance by 2-1. But the little challenge there is that their closest competitors and rivals, title rivals, Rivers United, got a vital win on the road in Bauchi against Wikki Tourists, which was what condemned Wikki Tourists to relegation. So we give you the results in the NPFL this past match week. We, first of all, have the 3SC, that is Shooting Stars of Ibadan. They beat Barca FC by 1 goal to nil, rather. El Kanemi Warriors and Niger Tornadoes could only muster a goalless draw. Kwara United beat Eimba by 2 goals to nil. Remo Stars beat Bayelsa United by 2 goals to 1. Rangers International, like I pointed out, beat Bendel Insurance by 2 goals to 1. Godin Obaje now has his 13th goal in the league. Katsina United thrashed the Ikodu City Oga Boys 4 goals to 1. Wikki Tourists lost at home to Rivers United. A very late goal scored by Rivers United gave them a 3-2 win that condemned Wikki Tourists to relegation to life in the NNL next season. Afia Warriors shockingly lost in a southeastern derby, Oriental derby at home to Gun Khalifat FC. Then Canopy Laseme Sugida got a narrow win over Warri Wolves 1-0, and Nasarawa United beat Plateau United 1-0 in the North Central derby. Now, what that means is that the NPFL table is looking something like this. Rangers International on top of the log, first with just 1 point. By 1 point, they are scaling Rivers United by 1 point. So that's 65 points to 64 points. And then in the CAF Confederation Cup place, you have Shooting Stars of Ibadan for now, who are third on the log with 60 points. Oga Boys are fourth on the log with 58 points. And then Nassau United are fifth on the log. You can see them there. Bendel Insurance are sixth. Afia Warriors are seventh. Katsina United are eighth. Barao FC are ninth. And then same Isugida Canopilas are 10th on the log. Kwara United are 11th. Plateau United are 12th. El Kanemi Warriors are 13th. Eimba, the People's Elephant, are 14th. Kun Khalifat of Owerri are 15th. And then Remo Stars, the defending champions, are 16th on the log, hovering above the relegation zone and separating themselves from the relegation drop zone by just goal difference, because Warri Wolves are 17th on the log with 46 points, the same number of points as Remo Stars. Then Niger Tornadoes are 18th on the log with 45 points. Already relegated, Bayelsa United are second from bottom with 40 points, the same number of points as Wikki Tourists, who also have that 40 points that send them down to the NNL. But I want to know, before we talk about the Rangers and Rivers United situation, and the fact that it's going to be a very crazy final match day, because Rivers United will be hosting Katsina United.
Sorry to cut you short, but don't you love the NPFL?
Of course, I love the NPFL. We'll get to that.
I'm just looking at the top of the table and
I'm loving every bit of it.
So much drama.
You see, you talk about loving the NPFL. We'll talk about what is really dramatic in a bit. Yeah. I'll mention something right now. But you know, Rivers United have home advantage. They're going to be hosting Katsina United, who are already safe. They're not safe yet. Yes, they're within that same area. So Katsina United will be traveling to Rivers United to the Adeoki Masimaka Stadium. And then we also have Rangers International, who will be traveling to Lagos to face Oga Boys, who are looking for that third spot, which will grant them automatic qualification for the CAF Confederations Cup. Now, look at the situation on ground. From 9th position, let me just give you the picture so that we can talk about this.
PCR can just
yes, of course. PCR, MCR, please give us that table again. I want people to see, follow us as we are showing the optics and what the permutations are. Yeah. Nigerians are mathematicians by default, and you get why. Now look at this. Wikki Tourists and Bayelsa United, like we pointed out, have been relegated. Mm-hmm. That means that they can never go above the relegation zone.
Yes.
In 16th place, Remo Stars have 46 points. Mm-hmm. Now, Wikki Tourists and Bayelsa United have been relegated because the best they can get is 43 points, yes, which will never make them safe.
Yes.
But if you look at it very well,
from Eimba to Niger Tornadoes has the same amount of points.
The same amount of points.
Teams already.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. Just give me a moment. I want to paint the picture for everybody to see.
Okay.
Niger Tornadoes are 18th on the log with 45 points. Warri Wolves are 17th rather, with 46 points, which means the maximum Warri Wolves can get, should they win their last game, is 49 points. Okay. And then the maximum Niger Tornadoes can get is 48 points. Now, watch this. 49 points we're talking about. Now, if you check it very well, but Katsina United...
It should be better for us to just deal with the points on the table, not the permutations if this...
Yes, that's what I'm going. Okay. So, if you look at Barao FC in 9th, I'm talking about the points now.
Okay.
Now, above Barao FC in 8th are Katsina United, so this doesn't concern them.
Yes.
They have 52 points. Yes. They are safe.
Yes.
Now, Barao FC are 9th with 49 points.
Yes.
Remember, 49 points is the number of points, maximum number of points that Warrior Wolves can get.
Yes.
So that Warrior Wolves mathematically can escape the drop.
Yes.
And mathematically, Niger Tornadoes Barra FC can enter into the relegation zone and get relegated. Kano Pillars have 48 points. Kwara United have 47 points. Plateau United 47 points. El Kanemo Warriors have 47 points. These are the teams that we mentioned down to 13th. Then, like you said, from Aimba to Remo Stars, down to even Warrior Wolves, who are in the relegation zone, have 46 points.
Yes.
Which means any of these teams from 9th to 18th can be relegated. And then any of these two teams, 17th place Warrior Wolves and 18th place Niger Tornadoes can escape relegation. Okay, you see here, Zeke, the final match day, I don't know about you, but my crystal ball tells me that there will be massive drama.
Of course.
Massive drama that will make people scratch their heads and wonder what's going on. Some teams might just, I don't know. Please, I've talked enough. I need to hear what you have to say about this. It's exciting.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's just about the excitement that the final day of the season always brings. You know, sometimes in some seasons, in some leagues, you get to the ending of the season, there's not much to be playing for. Like, people are already at the beach. Players who already want to, get their mind off football, because football is very grueling. So, but we are so privileged to be in the Nigerian Professional Football League, and we are seeing how good our teams are. Anybody can win anybody. 3 points, it's not guaranteed. Even there was a stage Rivers United had 4 matches outstanding, but they couldn't even win any of the games. So it tells you how difficult the league is. The top of the table is yet to be decided. Those in the relegation zone, apart from the 2 that has already been relegated, that's the Wikki Tories and Bayelsa United, can still escape. Now it's going to be, for me, the case of goal difference, because from 9 to 16, it tells you that if you can get a couple of goals, get the confidence flowing, and the fans behind you, if you're at home, if you're away, can silence the home fans. It can go a long way in that final game of the season. I think for those from 9 to, like, let's say 12, 13, should feel relatively safe because of their goal difference. For me, goal difference will be much more important than the points. The points are, of course, important. If you win, of course, you get 3 points, draw 1. But I'm saying goal difference will be the deciding factor.
Have you heard of a team called Police Machine?
I need to be educated. Tell us.
It's been a while. My memory is a bit foggy regarding that, but there was a team in one of the levels in the Nigerian football pyramid that is called Police Machine. I think, if my memory serves me right, there was a twist that happened at on the last day of the season where they needed to win by. They needed a margin for this issue of goal difference. They needed a margin of, I can't remember, please forgive me if I get it wrong, but they needed a margin of, I think, about 12 goals or so. And then they won their last game by 13 goals to nil. I escaped it.
I wonder what investigation. That's what my mind's on.
I'm just trying to remind you that, even though Police Machine might not be in the headlines now, the spirit of Police Machine might be hanging around.
No, you know why? It just... it's not a straight shootout, like, let's say, for example, in the Premier League between West Ham United and Tottenham for the last slot. Like you said, there are 2 teams, but they are from 9 to 16. That's like almost 8 teams, but 2 has to go. So there'll be a lot of swing, ups and downs. So the spirit of Police Machine might not come into the play because how many people will somebody be able to, but somebody will be crying tomorrow, next week. That's one thing we are going to be sure about. Some people are going to be smiling from escaping and remaining in the top flight of Nigerian football. Some people are going to be crying.
Will some people going to the bank smiling?
I don't know. Some people go to bank because they are paying bills, and it depends on what your journey is. I don't know. We are talking with the fans, so I don't know. I just enlighten them. So
we don't know. But just this is a disclaimer. We are not in any way accusing the NPFL board or the NPFL generally or any of the clubs of attempted corruption. No, we do not tolerate
We're just
corruption.
painting a storyline.
But what we're saying to the NPFL board, to the teams involved, this is what we're saying. Our eyes on you, we're watching you, and we're going to report everything that we know that has been substantiated, because really, let fairness reign supreme as far as the NPFL is concerned. Before we leave the NPFL, there's another, we will talk about it. It's so competitive. The battle for the title is on the ground. And for the record, Rangers International and Rivers United have qualified for the CAF Champions League first preliminary round. It is certain. They cannot drop below second.
Yes.
Both of them.
They have a 4-point advantage.
Yes, over third place, 3SC.
Yeah.
Now, getting to the other tier there, 3SC and Ikorodu City, the two southwestern teams, are slugging it out for that third spot, which gives you automatic qualification for the Confederations, CAF Confederations Cup first preliminary round. So there's a lot on the line. Oga boys have a lot on the line, and they have home advantage against Rangers in the final week, match week 38.
I think that's a very
massive one.
Okay.
But 3SC, I'm coming. But 3SC, I want to see how their fixture, with their final fixture, their final match. 3SC will be facing Niger Tornadoes, and Niger Tornadoes, remember, are in a relegation dogfight.
Yeah.
And they are traveling to Niger Tornadoes. Drama.
To hit on the drama aspect, on that last game of the season in the NPFL, like I said, there's still something to fight for at the top of the table. There's still something to fight for at the lower end of the table.
And the middle too.
And also in the middle, and for those continental sports. So somebody's fighting for something. Mm-hmm. There are not going to be any easy 3 points on that last day of the season. Going to Rangers and those on the top of the table, I think we have talked enough for those at the bottom. Rivers United are trying to win this league over Rangers. Rangers are trying to win it the second time in 3 years, I think.
Yes.
That would be a remarkable achievement for them. Also, you have to remember that they are going away against Ikorodu City. And Ikorodu City just lost this weekend.
Yes, they did.
They lost
woefully. Yeah. 4-1.
So it's going to be that's a dynamite game for Rangers. If they can be able to get away there with a result better than Rivers United, they will be very, very happy. But for Rivers United, going away from home to win 3-2 and to now have the opportunity to win the league in their home, I think they are favourites, despite them being second, for me.
Okay, so we'll still give you more information regarding that, because the title race has gotten down to squeaky bum time. Squeaky bum time is just here, and we're watching. The penultimate weekend is over. Penultimate match week, which is match week 37, is over, and now we're getting ready for the finale, the grand finale, as far as the NPFL is concerned. We will be here to give it to you live and direct on Afia TV, on our sports franchise. Now, talking about sports, we go straight to the Under-20 FIFA Women's Under-20 World Cup. The FIFA Women's Under-20 World Cup, the qualifying rounds, Nigeria, the Falconets of Nigeria, the Under-20 side, locked horns with their Malawian counterparts, having a 2-0 advantage from the first leg in Nigeria, which was played in Remo Stadium, in Ikene, on the 2nd of May. Then the return leg, they beat them 2-0. Very, very important advantage. And it proved to be extremely important because they went to Lilongwe to play against their Malawian counterparts, and Malawi were leading 2-0, a brace scored by Faith Chinzimu. They were leading 2-0, and then it took a very late goal, actually not really late, not that late, but late enough in the half, about 62nd minute or thereabouts, where Precious Oscar scored what proved to be the goal that sent them through to the World Cup. That goal made it 2-1 on the night. So the Falconets lost the game, but they won 3-2 on aggregate, which means that we are proud to announce that the Falconets, Nigeria's Falconets, the Under-20 side, will be on a plane to Poland in September. The FIFA Women's Under-20 World Cup will take place in Poland from the 5th to the 26th of September, 2026. Congratulations to the girls.
That's all we can tell them. Kudos to the coaching staff and congratulations to our girls. We hope that their performances will improve because they lost the second leg, but getting that decisive away goal, kudos to them and kudos to the coaching team. More success to them in September.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to that, and we will give you coverage regarding the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup when the time comes. September is not as far as you think it is. That's why we're going to give you all the scoop regarding the tournament, preparation for the tournament, the progress of the girls, as and when due, only here on the Afia Sports franchise, whether it's on the Afia Sports Review Spot or the Afia Sports Preview Square or the Afia Home of Sports. Stay tuned and make sure you're part of what we're doing here. Thank you very much, guys. And just stay tuned. We have more to come after this short timeout because we're going from Africa to Europe. A very, very crazy, eventful, dramatic, melodramatic campaign in England and other parts of Europe. You want to find out? Stick around. Don't touch that dial. Welcome back to the Afia Sports Review Sports on Afia TV. The frequencies are fixed on channel 254 DSTV, channel 17 Go TV, and channel 748 Free TV. It's great to be back here, and I want to say a special thank you to the blessed Ziko Rangene, who was here in the first segment of the Afia Sports show today. And joining me for the second half of this show is none other than the delectable, insightful, self-acclaimed sports goddess, Queen Chioma Chikeze.
Well, I'm going to say one thing. I like the fact that my predictions are gradually manifesting, and by the time the season is over, I still will say you will resort to taking away self-acclaim and pronouncing it sports goddess. Well, it's nice to be here. Exciting weekend, chaotic. And I was just thinking, listening to you and talk about the NPFL, and I'm saying, truly, when you talk about in terms of competition, which is the most competitive league in the world, it sure should be the NPFL.
No,
I mean, if you're going to pronounce a team relegated with just one game left, how many teams in the world does that? Where you have the competition going on up until, and you have from 9th till 17th. With the probability of getting relegated. It's never done anywhere in the world.
No, it's massive indeed. It is massive, and we love our league like that. I mean,
all we just need is proper management and just.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. But we'll get to that. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. And like I always say, Rome was not built in a day.
Yeah.
It was built daily. So every day has to count, and hopefully we'll do that. Now to other leagues that are a bit more established, and I'm referring to the English Premier League. The EPL action is really heating up. Match week 36 saw a lot of fantastic games indeed, and then we're going to give you the results because this has been a serious title race. There's a title race that is on, but there's a big advantage that has been secured right now. We'll give you that in a bit. First of all, the early kickoff on Saturday was Liverpool hosting Chelsea Football Club, and it ended up a 1-1 draw, Chelsea grabbing a very, very vital draw. So that was Chelsea's second 1-1 victory of the season. Yes, I said that, you heard that right. They had a 1-0 victory before when they hosted Arsenal Football Club 1-1, and then now they have a 1-1 victory when they picked up a point against Liverpool. But it was a very, very important result for them because Liverpool scored a scorcher, an absolute scorcher, an assist from Rio Ngumoha for Ryan Gravenberch to score a beautiful curler indeed that almost condemned Chelsea to their 7th consecutive defeat in the EPL. But that's why I said it felt more like a victory to them, because they got a point, so they halted the losing run thanks to a free kick by Enzo Fernandez. That was a very important point that they picked up there. Then down to Fulham. Fulham played against Bournemouth, and then 10-man Fulham up against 10-man Bournemouth. Bournemouth picked up a win, continuing their run. Now 18 games unbeaten. Bournemouth are enjoying the longest unbeaten run amongst English sides in the EPL. That's Bournemouth's result there. Brighton and Hove Albion thrashed Wolverhampton Wanderers, already relegated Wolverhampton Wanderers by 3-0. And then Sunderland and Manchester United shared a goalless draw, the points there. Manchester City, of course, in a controversial match too, beat Brentford by 3-0 to put pressure on Arsenal. Crystal Palace and Everton shared the spoils in a 2-2 draw. And then Burnley and Aston Villa, already relegated Burnley, shared the spoils with Aston Villa in a 4-goal thriller, a 2-2 draw in the Claret and Blue Derby. And then the match, Nottingham Forest and Newcastle United, ended 1-1. Then the last match of yesterday, which is the penultimate match of the match week, because there will be one more game today, which will see Tottenham Hotspur host Leeds United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London. But another London derby that happened, that was yesterday, the most iconic and dramatic match, and controversial to some, was Arsenal getting a win, a vital win, thanks to a strike from Leandro Trossard in the 83rd minute to beat West Ham United by 1-0 at the London Stadium, completing the double over them and seemingly putting them in the front seat to join Burnley and Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Championship next season. Now, that match was outstanding. Arsenal were 2 points clear of Man City after Man City got their win in against Brentford 3-0. Now, Man City will be playing on Wednesday. Their game in hand, that final game in hand against Crystal Palace. So they needed to get that win to put pressure on Arsenal. And then Arsenal failing to win West Ham United was always going to put the pressure back on Arsenal because they don't have the advantage. They wouldn't have had the advantage with anything short of a win. Yeah. But we saw what happened there. Arsenal, first half, fantastic, brilliant, very unlucky not to find the back of the net until the injury to Ben White. Benjamin White was injured, and then Arteta made a change that killed the creativity a little bit there, because the engine room of that midfield for Arsenal was Declan Rice. He then had to take off Ben White and then push Declan Rice to the right back position and then bring in Zubimendi. Unfortunately, that spark was not there. That dynamism in the midfield waned off, and that's why West Ham began to grow in leaps and bounds, trying to overwhelm that midfield a little bit. Then Arteta had to take off Zubimendi and make one or two vital changes, bringing on Mosquera to play as a more natural fit in the right back position. Then brought on Kai Havertz and Odegaard, who changed the game by bringing a bit more creative thrust in that midfield and then providing the assist. Now that was something that Arteta got away with, but David Raya winning the Golden Glove for 3 consecutive seasons right now. His 18th clean sheet of the season with 2 games to go. Cat-like reflex saves there. But the most controversial moment in that game, Arsenal took, after one of Raya's fantastic saves, we then had, I think it was Mateus Fernandes. He saved his attempt there, ball one-on-one. Yeah. But he then got to about 10 minutes later, Arsenal scored the goal that won the game. Leandro Trossard, who, by the way, has been going through a lot of issues. His wife deleted his picture, his wedding photos and everything from social media. There seems to be a family issue. A certain outfit in the UK, I won't call the name of the outfit, leaked the news there in a bit to destabilize him. But what was meant to destabilize him made him come stronger. And then he scored one of his many clutch goals for Arsenal. Oh, yeah. But something happened in extra time, 96 minutes. In the 96th minute, and they gave 6 minutes of extra time. Chris Kavanagh gave 6 minutes of extra time. That thing that happened, I want you to take a look at the picture that's showing right now. Yeah. West Ham United were piling pressure. They brought on Callum Wilson, the former Newcastle United striker. And then they were piling pressure on Arsenal there. And a goal-mouth scuffle ensued. David Raya jumped up to grab the ball. But as you can see from that picture, as he jumped up there, he was impeded. And then Callum Wilson scored the goal. Initially, Kavanagh pointed and then gave it as a goal because he had crossed the line before they knocked it back out. But he had crossed the line, the watch beeped. West Ham United fans, and we might even add Manchester City fans, Chelsea fans, Man United fans, many fans, several fans around the world who are anti-Arsenal were celebrating that goal, quote unquote, until Kavanagh was pressurized to check the VAR, and he did that. And he saw what happened there. Pablo held the left hand of Raya, and behind, another view was shown. Todibo, the other defender, tugged the right side of his shirt. You can see it there. He tugged the right side of his shirt, bringing pressure. 2 men, able-bodied men, bringing pressure, putting pressure on Raya, and then the goal, he was impeded, the goal was scored. But something happened just near them. Declan Rice was wrestling with Mavropanos, Konstantinos Mavropanos, the former Arsenal centre-back.
Yeah.
So he was wrestling with him and then brought him down in that 18-yard box. So West Ham United fans agree calling that a penalty. But something happened. I don't know if you can just give us a...
Already said it all, but looking at the situation for, in that game yesterday, a lot of fans, see, most of the fans' agitation and reason why they are calling that goal should have been allowed for West Ham is not just about the timing. Most of them are not even thinking about the rules of the game, the timing of the incidences and everything involved. No. I think most of the fans are just aggrieved that Arsenal have benefited from situations such as this. In fact, a lot of them say Arsenal, which to an extent, there is some level of truth to it. The Arsenal instituted this kind of crowding and trying to discomfort and destabilize goalkeepers, especially for this season. So they were saying, if Arsenal has gotten away with issues like this, then West Ham should have also gotten away with this situation. But let's look at it like you mentioned. If you look at the timing of these incidences, the issue with, what's his name? The penalty call that
Declan Rice
on Mavropanos. You understand that very incident happened few seconds after David Raya and...
It wasn't even up to a second. It
wasn't even a split seconds, actually. Yes. Just split seconds after the incident on David Raya. And why would, for me personally, my view is, why you prioritize whatever happens to a goalkeeper in the 18-yard box is because that is his territory. That is his territory. And having a player hold a goalkeeper's hand for at least 4 seconds, that's plenty of time in football. It can change decisions. And you can clearly see that Raya was not even given the opportunity to even do anything. Right? And I was actually arguing with some person that I know Arsenal have done this. Yes, a lot of persons bring the incident of Manchester United. But look at that time. But look at that, the timing. You could see it was just a place and off, like place and off. If there isn't a replay, you will not feel like it has much influence on what the goalkeeper would have done. But in this scenario, it wasn't like that. It was like constant. And someone else was also pulling him down from behind to stop him from even jumping further to, clear the ball. So I think that's what happened. And before the Declan Rice, this has already happened. The goalkeeper and the VAR has seen this. Other people are saying, if it was Arsenal, I said no, because Arsenal has done similar thing and gotten away with it. Does it take away the fact that this is a foul? It doesn't. So if we're looking at the controversy of VAR in the Premier League, it's a different thing. But trying to say that these goals should be given because Arsenal is involved, because they instituted the corner FC, because they created all of this chaos in the 18-yard box. For me, it's layman mentality. It's typically... should I say, showcasing, in fact, it's screaming hate, Arsenal hate. Because I remember the season where it was Liverpool, and I asked, personally, I feel like the Premier League, like they say, is inconsistent. You don't have to hammer on Arsenal, hammer on the league management. I remember 2-3 seasons ago when it was Liverpool's season to win the Premier League. I know what Everton went through in the hand of Liverpool. It's even worse than Arsenal. At least Arsenal are scoring goals. Positions, opportunities where Everton will score, goals are cancelled, unnecessary fouls and all. Same thing for City, same Everton at some point. I think Everton wanted to even start, appealing and all of those. So, for me, like I always say, and I've always said it, I remember when it was 2 points down, and they said it, even if it is half point, even if it is goal difference, you see, Arsenal, they're going to win the Premier League. And if Arsenal secure the Premier League on the 24th of May, they will secure the Champions League on the 30th of May. The only way Arsenal will lose the Champions League is if they lose the Premier League. I've said it and I've been saying it behind the scene. And I've been looking for the opportunity to say it clean and clear. And I've said it now. Mark it somewhere. Arsenal will lose the Champions League if only they lose the Premier League.
Okay, that's a very bold statement there, but we'll get to that. At least we have enough sports shows before that time. And we'll talk about that in a bit because we're going to break down the psychological edges that each of these sides have with each of the results that come their way. But we'll get to that. Thank you very much, Queen, for that. We will just give you the standings and from there we'll go straight to La Liga. Just one pot of call in La Liga, just one, only one, and it's in Catalonia. Arsenal Football Club have a 5-point lead over Manchester City, albeit having played a game more, 79 points to 74 points. Then Man United, of course, they are safe in third position, secured for Champions League. Liverpool are fourth on the log, and then Aston Villa are fifth. Aston Villa, the finalists in the UEFA Europa League. Then in the Europa League place, sixth position, you have Bournemouth, who can realistically qualify for the Champions League if things go well. And they also have a home game against Manchester City. So there's a lot that's going down for them. Then Brighton are seventh in the Conference League position, which means they can also qualify for Europe if they do very well. Brentford are eighth. They blew their chance, but there's still a way they could try and get back into it. Chelsea are ninth on the log, finally halting their six-match losing run, not even winless run. No, scratch that. Everton are 10th on the log. Fulham are 11th. Sunderland are 12th. Newcastle United are 13th. Crystal Palace 14th. Nottingham Forest 15th. Leeds United are 16th. And they are facing a team that is just beneath them by 6 points, and that is Tottenham Hotspur, who are 17th on the log. Tonight, by 8 p.m., these two sides will clash in North London at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Then in the relegation zone, you have West Ham United, who are very unfortunate to have things really have that result that they had yesterday. And then Burnley are 19th, already relegated, with Wolverhampton Wanderers in 20th, already relegated. Now, we go straight to the Spanish La Liga, and in the Spanish La Liga, wow, it was a case. Let me just give you the results first of all before I talk about that game briefly, and then we'll try and tie up things. First of all, in the round 35, with 3 rounds to go, 3 matches to go, you have Levante, who beat Osasuna by 3 goals to 2. 10-man Osasuna, by the way, 3 goals to 2. And then Elche and Alaves shared the spoils, 1-1. We talked about Sevilla winning Espanyol 2 goals to 1, with Akor Adams scoring the goal in the first minute of stoppage time, 90th minute in that game. And then Atletico de Madrid lost at home to Celta de Vigo. And Real Sociedad and Real Betis shared the spoils, a 4-goal thriller, a 2-all draw. 10-man Real Betis, unfortunately for them, they had a red card. Mallorca and Villarreal shared the spoils too, 1-1 draw. Athletic Bilbao, that's Athletic Club, lost at home to Valencia, 1-0. Then Real Oviedo, who are all but relegated, they shared the spoils. The 9-man Real Oviedo shared the spoils in a goalless draw with Getafe. Then Barcelona Football Club knew that they had to get a win. They had to avoid losing, rather. They had to make sure that they get at least a point in El Clasico in Catalonia against Real Madrid. They did the job thanks to a free kick scored by Marcus Rashford and then a goal scored by Ferran Torres, who was the striker on the night. And then Madrid, with their rafter of misses, missed out on the Spanish La Liga, and they've handed it over to Barcelona, who have been consistent all season. Tonight, we're going to have Rayo Vallecano hosting Girona. So, congratulations to FC Barcelona. Hansi Flick and his boys have done it again. Back-to-back titles for FC Barcelona. They are now champions of Spain.
Of course, congratulations most especially to Marcus Rashford, securing his first league title in his professional football career, and quite in a brilliant way. For Barcelona, I wasn't surprised it was going to happen. Real Madrid were not at their best. I mean, you look at everything happening, especially within this period of the El Clasico, a lot of issues, Royal Rumbles, punches. Instead of what they would have done with their feet against Barcelona, they were doing it with their fists against each other in training. It was something else. And then the fans, taking it all out on Kylian Mbappe, over 73 million votes for him to leave what's the name? Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, yes.
I'm just thinking, why make this guy a scapegoat? Why make it about a particular person? Madrid themselves have not been, from the management, they've not gotten it right since the Carlo Ancelotti left. You brought in Xabi Alonso. Okay, he did an invincible with Bayern Leverkusen. Is that enough to bring a young coach out of that level to a team where you have like an all-star team?
Yeah, Galacticos.
Like the Galacticos. Then you let go of him and you bring in an Abaloa. I mean, who will Abaloa tell sit down here and the person will sit down? Who exactly? And so the chaos. I told people it's not like Madrid have not had these situations in time past. They have, but they have had superior voices, superior manager who you look at, and even the press don't dare to come close to people at what is going on. But at this point, more like everyone have access to the point where you're punching your colleague and he's passing out in training. That's madness. And then Barcelona took advantage of
allegedly.
As reported. And Barcelona took advantage of that and did the business on the day. Congratulations to them. I just hope that Madrid will learn at this point. And Manchester United fans, I hope you're congratulating Rashford, Sha.
Okay, so what I know, congratulations are in order. So let's just put it this way. Congratulations to FC Barcelona. And we are going to see that FC Barcelona, they've done well for themselves, but unfortunately they did not make it to the UEFA Champions League final after losing out to Atletico Madrid in the quarterfinals. They lost to Atletico Madrid. Speaking of the UEFA Champions League, in Europe, we want to say a big congratulations to all the English sides that are involved in European competition, because the UEFA Champions League have Arsenal facing Paris Saint-Germain in the UEFA Champions League final. The UEFA Europa League have Aston Villa facing Freiburg in the UEFA Europa League final. And we have Crystal Palace facing Rayo Vallecano in the UEFA Conference League final. Massive indeed for them.
Of course.
So congratulations.
That's why they are the best league in the world.
Yeah, at the moment they are the best in the world, English league. And that's about the size of the package right now.
Congratulations to Victor Osimhen also.
Yes,
another
for winning
league title.
Thank you very much for the Turkish league.
Yes.
Victor Osimhen, who scored in Galatasaray's 4-2 win to secure his second consecutive league title with Galatasaray and his third league title in total. Massive indeed, Victor Osimhen. I want to say thank you very much for being with us on the Afia Sports show. You want to follow up on what we've been talking about, you can follow us on our social media handles and on YouTube at Afia TV Official. You can get us there on X, you can get us on YouTube, and you can get in touch with all that we've been talking about and be part of the conversation ongoing. Thank you very much, Queen, for being part of this show.
It's always great and nice to be here to do this with you.
And I say a big thank you to the blessed Zik, who was here in the first half of the show. I want to appreciate all those who've made this a success. We have our cinematographer behind the scenes there, Mr. Jones. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And then also we appreciate those who are involved in the MCR. We thank you very much, Jonathan. You do a good job all the time. And then Victor, thank you very much for keeping it real in the PCR. And I also want to thank my trusty Lieutenant, Emeka Madoka himself, the self-acclaimed priest of football. We'll do this again next time, but of course, the next sports show will be on Thursday by 5 p.m. during the Afia Sports Banter Box. We are going to know what we'll banter on. There's a lot of banter and deserved banter indeed. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. Till then, remain blessed. I'm Sisi the Rabbi, signing out.